Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy. So, the car has been gone all day.
The car is a giant pile of jackasses.
I can't believe that this car seems to spend more time at the dealer than it does here these days.
Right?
But it kind of led me to something I saw on Instagram today, so I'm going to read this to you and we can talk about your thoughts on it. It says, anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is teaching you courage to overcome your fear. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
I don't really agree with it at all, so
what parts don't you agree with?
all of it.
So you don't think that things that annoy you teach you to be patient?
No.
Well, how do you...
I don't get any less annoyed if the same situation happens 6 months from now.
How do you learn patience then?
No idea, but I don't think that's how you learn it.
Okay. And you don't think that someone who's been abandoned doesn't learn to stand up on their own 2 feet?
I don't think abandonment and standing up on your own 2 feet have really anything to do with one another. You can be completely independent and have friends that completely abandon you, and you learn nothing except for the fact that people are dicks.
Or it could be talking about someone who is dependent on a bunch of people and they abandon that person, like a child, for instance.
Uh-huh.
In which case it does teach them to stand on their own 2 feet.
Well, I'm sure that it's true once in a while, but I don't agree that that's an absolute. I think
nothing
crap.
in this... I don't see where you think anything in here says it's an absolute.
Does it say... sometimes blah 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 teaches you blah blah blah? No,
it doesn't say sometimes.
Blah 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 teaches you blah blah blah.
It doesn't say sometimes. It doesn't say always. It just makes a statement.
Well,
the
clearly
sky is blue. The sky is blue. Well, sometimes the sky is blue. Sometimes it's black. Sometimes it's white. Sometimes it's gray. But I'm entitled. But no, actually, it's not.
Just because there's clouds in the sky doesn't mean the sky itself changed color.
The sky does change color, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it does.
The amount of light coming through the atmosphere changes.
And that still changes the color of the sky. Is the sky blue right now?
Yep.
When you look up there, it's blue.
Yep.
No, what you see is black.
You say so. I don't agree with that either.
Well, then herein lies the problem. Because it's not an absolute. Even
it comes off like an absolute.
But that's the same thing as, the sky is blue. It isn't always blue. I'm not going to go round and round with you on that. Even if you want to say that technically it's blue, it doesn't look blue. When it's cloudy outside, we say, wow, it's such gray skies.
Okay.
It's in song lyrics, turning blue skies gray. So if you want to be all technical and specific and say that it's always blue, it's other things that make it look gray, fine, but it still looks gray. We're talking about a visual aspect of something.
Okay.
So when you say the sky is blue, well, it's not always blue. Just like anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. I think that it does teach you patience because the more you experience the same thing with the same person, the easier you are on that person if they matter to you at all.
If you say so.
Hey, I annoy you on a daily basis, okay? If you didn't learn patience, by now we would be divorced. So think about it.
Still don't agree, but that's whatever.
I mean, and the point is, it's not an absolute. It can teach you that.
They probably should have worded it that way.
Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Well, it sure could. It sure as hell could. It also could teach you to be more angry.
Yeah. Or more impatient.
Probably the only thing on here that I don't agree with is that anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I don't agree with more stuff on there than I do agree with, so I don't like it.
I think anything hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. I think that's true too, because I know that for me, I compare and contrast. And so if there's something that I hate, like absolutely hate, then I compare it to what's the best in that area. Well, I would think that the opposite of hate is unconditional love.
Maybe.
Some might say indifference is the opposite of
I think indifference is more accurate.
Love.
That's the word I was trying to think of.
But the reason that I don't necessarily buy into that is that, I mean, I'm indifferent about a large percentage of society because I don't know who the hell they are on certain topics.
Uh-huh.
But that doesn't mean it's the opposite of loving somebody. To me, that's not even a feeling.
I think it's a triangle. And one point is love, one point is hate, and one point is indifference. So none of them are really the opposite of one another. Because you can't have one without the other two.
That kind of makes sense. But I mean, to me, indifference that's a feeling would be like how I feel about that certain friend of ours that stabbed us in the back.
That makes you indifferent?
Well, yeah. Because at this point, you know what?
Just don't care anymore.
I don't give a crap. Like, certain people try to tell me stories about that person and what's going on with that person, and I generally say, you know what, that's nice, but I really don't care.
Yep.
Like, those have been exact words that I've used. Hey, well, that's great, but I don't care. Or, well, that's too bad, but I don't really want to hear about it.
Yeah.
You know? To me, that's the harsh opposite of unconditional love. It's like...
But that's the indifference.
You know,
right?
but it's because you know the person and you know they exist, and yet you're indifferent about anything about them. Because when it's just a stranger you don't know anything about, of course you're indifferent towards them.
The other point is conscious.
Yeah, I think it's conscious. There you go. Thank you. That's the word. Conscious indifference. That's the opposite of unconditional love.
Because I really don't give two shits one way or the other about some random person that lives in Germany. But that's not the opposite of love.
Like, okay, but I'll kind of change that up to you. You know, like the guy. There's this guy that's, you know, lived here for 30 years. He's 40 years old. The dude spent like $125,000 trying to change his status. Okay, and
status.
His immigration status.
Okay.
And he just got deported because when they did like the 7-Eleven sweep or whatever, they found that, you know, he was here and he wasn't married to any U.S. citizen or anything like that. He was just here, living here. You know, and so he was technically illegal, so he's out of here. But I think that's just lame because that guy came here when he was 10 years old. His parents brought him here. I know people are going to say, well, you know, a 10-year-old can make their own choices. Bull crap. Think about it.
How is that related to indifference, love, and hate?
Because I don't know this guy at all from a hole in the wall, but I do care about the fact that he's getting what's the word? Deported for something his parents did.
But did he not make choices to not, like, re-sign up for DACA?
He spent $125,000 trying to fix his status. I think he's done a lot. Like, perhaps at that point someone should say, I think the government's process failed.
Well, yeah, we all know the government's process is a pile of garbage.
But there you go. But instead of admitting to that, they're going to shove this down his throat like it's all his fault. And he's going to go back somewhere where he doesn't know a thing about.
Uh-huh.
And have to try to live there. Like maybe some of these people, maybe they should pick Trump up and send him down to Nigeria. See how he gets along there. It's ridiculous. Stupid. Treating people like that. They treat human beings like they're animals. Freaking pisses me off. So there you go. And I'm not indifferent about that shit. And I don't even know that guy. So it's got to be conscious indifference.
I feel like you care more about the situation than the person himself. But yes, I understand.
Yeah, but he happens to be an example of the situation. And it's a living, breathing human being who deserves respect and dignity. I mean, there's a completely different situation when, person X is 30 years old and person Y is 28 years old and they're a couple and they decide, you know what? We can make more money in the United States. And so they sneak across the border into the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, he gets in trouble for shoplifting. Well, guess what? Not only did you come here illegally, knowing you shouldn't and knowing it was wrong, but you didn't do anything to correct your situation. Instead, you went and you shoplifted. You basically gave the country a middle finger and went, well, I know your laws are that I'm supposed to pay for this, but here you go.
Right.
I mean, and then compare that to somebody who comes here and then gets married to somebody that lives here.
Right.
Total different scenario. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, don't be talking about, oh, they came here illegally, so therefore they're already a criminal. I mean, then you'd have to start asking the question, well, at what point did they become a criminal? When they bought the ticket and decided they were going to come here? After they came here? At what point? I mean, where did they become a criminal?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. The whole they became a criminal thing. Like, shut up. Just shut up. It pisses me off.
Really? Does it? I couldn't tell.
It pisses me off. Lately, stupid people irritate me too.
Lately?
Like the guy today on Facebook. Oh, he's on WildStar's page, and he's going on and on and on about how WildStar will not answer the question of who he voted for in the last election. So therefore, he has determined that WildStar must have voted for Trump. And it makes sense to him because libertarianism and Trumpism are the same thing. That they believe the same things.
Trumpism.
Yeah. Like, I believe most anything Donald Trump has to say. Come on now. Like I always say, people, any one of you who's heard me talk about politics, this guy is our president. We voted him in. Don't give me the popular vote bullshit. I will destroy your argument. So don't even waste your time. Yes, I'm confident in that fact.
Well, you've only done it 100 million times to 100 million.
And then they run away with their tail between their legs. So unless you want to do that, be quiet with the she won the popular vote argument. It's a bunch of crap. So many reasons why it's a bunch of crap. But in any event, he got elected. So I'm going to respect the office of the president. But the guy lies at the drop of a hat. And I don't understand what part that's not computing for me is how the people who work with him don't have the balls to step up and go, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Nobody told him that. But instead, well, the president didn't mean that. What the president meant was that if you went to the left 3 degrees and then to the right 4 degrees, you would be actually 2 degrees to the left. No, you wouldn't. That's not what he meant, you dummy. And you know that's not what he meant, but you're too chicken shit to say anything. But this guy, libertarians are this. And he said that libertarians are the reason for the Iraq war. Libertarians, the party that wants to reduce the military and has a non-interventionist policy, that party, they started a war. Okay.
Clearly.
Sure they did.
Clearly. They probably started 6 more wars that you don't know about.
Every comment this guy made just proved more and more and more, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he has no clue about what he's talking about. None. So, there, I've ranted enough. What the heck do you want to rant about?
I don't have anything to rant about today.
How'd you feel about there being no gas in our entire building all flippin' day?
It didn't really affect my life at all. The only thing it affected is what we had for dinner.
Yeah.
Really?
We were forced to freaking eat out, something I didn't want to do.
Shit happens. Stupid gas. In reality, it was back on by 5 o'clock. I mean, we probably could have cooked, but...
Well, but what would we have cooked?
We probably could have got something when we went to Walmart today to cook.
You're not making any sense. We went to Walmart at 11 o'clock. We didn't find out the gas was on until after 5 o'clock.
She guaranteed us it would be back on today. So we probably could have got something to make for dinner and then had a fork plan.
Okay, well, but excuse me where...
Or got pizza.
Because excuse me that I don't trust when they say something's going to be done. I mean, it's the 17th of January and they were going to fix the elevator in January because that's when the budget for it was.
There's still 14 days left in January, so they still have half the month. If it happens, you're going to have a heart attack and die because you'll be so surprised.
Yes, because it ain't going to happen.
Anyway, the lack of gas did not affect my life.
Referral fee for Deborah. It's going to be a fucking year since she moved in. A year.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't have that money.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we'll probably never get it.
It's ridiculous. Anyway. Yes, I'm grumpy.
I hadn't noticed.
Be quiet.
You be quiet.
I will. Now it's your turn to talk.
Well, I don't have anything to rant about. I told you this.
You better. It's your job to have something to rant about.
Nope, nothing pissed me off today.
I think things pissed you off.
I'm happy you think that, but
I know this because you got into a really bad mood tonight.
Uh-huh.
And what put you in a really bad mood?
Fucked if I know.
You better find out. Because whatever it is, I'm going to kick it in the ass.
Have at her. Have at the ass kicking.
Turn around.
Don't touch me. Fascist.
Don't hit. I'll call the police. You don't scare me with your hissing like a cat.
I could bite you like the cat.
I was going to say to you, it was kind of alarming at first, but then I thought about it. Watching you petting pretty girl last night.
Her getting all angry.
And her hissing at you like that, it's like kind of, it was disturbing. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, like I said, she still has a PTSD. She still kind of acts in certain ways like that outdoor cat that has to live outside. And yeah, when someone's threatening you in a way and you don't feel comfortable bolting away, hissing at them and making them think you're going to scratch the shit out of them and cause them pain is probably your best defense mechanism.
Well, she wanted to leave and I stopped her, and that's when she started making angry sounds at me.
Yeah, that's how she gets you to kind of pause and back up so she can bolt.
Yep. But then I still wouldn't let her leave, and that's why she continued to be angry.
It's an outdoor cat trick,
She's cute, though. She was hanging out in here. Then you closed the door and locked her in here when we came home from walking the yog dog.
I didn't close the door. I left it open a crack. I did.
It was closed all the way, so maybe the wind blew it closed or something.
Because I left it open a crack.
But yeah, she was locked in here. She clearly wanted to leave because when I opened the door and walked away, she zoomed her big giant ass out.
You make so much fun of my poor cat.
She's giant, okay? She's giant. She's the biggest cat in our house. She's bigger than the dog.
I don't think so. I don't think
5 more pounds and she'll be bigger than Mitchell.
I don't think she's 15 pounds.
5 more pounds and she'll be bigger than Mitchell.
Mitchell's over 100 pounds now. That's not even possible. She would collapse the couch.
She's pretty close.
When she gets on the arm.
Oh, she's going to collapse my rib cage one of these days when she jumps up on me.
You would deserve it, too.
No, I wouldn't.
The way you act sometimes.
Nope.
Yes.
Careful, you're going to end up with this microphone up your butt.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You in what army?
Don't need an army.
Yeah. Just don't bring the Canadian army. I'm not afraid of them.
Uh-huh.
And Mountie Monty can go away, too. He don't scare me either. How come they don't ride on horses and wear those funny outfits anymore? Seriously.
Do your police officers get all dressed up in their dress uniform every day to work?
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. You ever watch Live PD? I do.
They're
Every
wearing
week,
their
6
field
hours.
dress. They're not wearing their dress uniform. If there was a
ceremony, bro.
if there was a fancy ceremony, that's not what they'd be wearing.
Dressed as dress can be, bro.
Whatever you say.
Why don't your guys
so
wear the
full of
funny
shit.
outfits and ride horses? They don't even ride horses anymore. Forget the funny outfits. They don't even ride horses. Why?
How the fuck would you know?
Because I've been there and seen them. You've pointed them out. They're in a damn car.
City police in a car.
No.
And you don't know...
RCMP. What does that stand for? Royal Canadian Mounted, on a horse, police. And they're driving in a damn car.
In the city.
They're in the city. They're driving in a car. It should be on a horse. If they're the RCMP...
You go tell them that, okay?
Then they should be the RCCP, Royal Canadian Car Police.
And you can be the RCDP.
That's the Royal Canadian Driving Police. I was about to use that one, but you got there first. But I still stole it back. Win for me. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ching, ching, ching.
You get 0 points because your argument is bullshit.
I got 300 points. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Why should they be in a car?
Because it's called driving, and it's the modern way of transportation.
But then
what are you gonna
change
do?
your name.
What are you going to do? Tie a fucking criminal to the horse's ass and drag them to jail?
What did they do when they were always riding horses before?
They didn't arrest people like that.
Why not?
Because they didn't.
Oh, no. That's not an answer.
Actually,
why
it
not?
is. Because they didn't.
But why? Who did?
They would come along with a fucking carriage and pick them up. What the fuck do you think they did?
Who would come along with a carriage?
The other police officers.
What other police officers?
I'm done with this
I'm totally lost. No, I'm serious. I want to know the answer to this question.
Other police officers would come with a carriage like police officers come now with a van to pick up the herd of criminals. What other police officers
What
do
if
you
there was
think?
only one criminal? Today they just stick them in the backseat of a car.
Now
Where
you
did
know
they
why
put
they drive
them?
Cars.
But they shouldn't. Then they need to change their name. They're not the mounted police if they're driving.
Okay, you can take that up with the country of Canada.
I'm going to. I'm contacting Trudeau and telling him, you want to improve your approval rating to like 73%? Get these suckers back on horses.
You do that.
That's what I'm going to tell him.
You see what he says.
He'll tell me, you think he'll improve me that much? Show me the numbers, bro. I'll show him the numbers, and them cops gonna be on a horse.
The numbers that one
on.
American will approve more of Justin Trudeau will make him change things. Okay.
No, it's not the number I'm gonna give him. What's wrong with you?
Then your numbers are lies.
Not even true.
Exactly, your numbers are not even true.
Your comment is not even true. My numbers are 100% true.
Okay then. If you say so.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Neither do you. I don't even think you know what the
I
topic
did the
is
research.
anymore.
I did the research.
Okay. You've done so much research.
We've moved on from the stupid indifference thing. We've decided. We came to a conclusion. Conscious indifference is the only indifference that matters. That topic
was like 45 years ago. You've talked about 19 things.
I know, I have. I went from there.
So like I said, you don't even know what the topic is even.
Yes, I do. I'm showing you that I can even follow where we were. Dingus.
Sure.
My Lord. What is wrong with you tonight?
Clearly, I'm just a giant idiot.
Oh, here she goes. Self-deprecation. Yep. I asked for a birthday present. Apparently, I'm not getting it. Birthday presents last more than just the day they're on.
Nah.
Shows me. Typical. It's like
you're the one treating me like I'm a crazy
everybody else
idiot.
In my life.
Pardon me for pointing it out, fascist.
I'm not treating you like you're a crazy idiot. At all. I'm saying you have your way of looking things, and I have my way of looking at things.
I didn't disagree with that part.
And I said that I could provide him data to show that people want the damn cops on horses. And you made it sound like I was going to lie about the data. So you turned me into somebody you know me. No,
like
I'm
you've
not.
Done like a crap load of research and you just thought of this now.
No, I've thought of it a long time ago. I just haven't asked you. I even said before I asked you, I've been thinking about this for a while now. And I've never asked you. And then I asked you. But see, you don't pay attention when I say that stuff. Or at least you don't catch it. Because I clearly said it.
Okay.
And it's a good thing we have a tape. We can go back and listen to it.
Okay.
Anyway, I think they belong on a damn horse.
I'm glad you feel that way.
And they should wear the crazy hat with the red suit. And why do you say that's a dress suit? Didn't they wear that as their regular uniform?
No.
Then what was their regular uniform look like? No hat?
Just pants.
No hat?
Shirt. Probably
no hat?
not.
Well, why no hat? Isn't it sunny? Like, doesn't the sun get on your head? That's why you wear a hat.
Is it sunny in Canada very often?
Well, it was sunny even when it was snowing that time. So, yeah, it was sunny.
Such a dumb hat, though.
Well, yeah.
Bite
well, but remember,
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I remember Dudley Do-Right was the cartoon character.
Have you seen their pants with the hip pads?
Yeah, I saw that too, because you took a picture when you were at the bus depot.
Of an RCMP officer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Ages and ages and ages and ages. So long ago, I can't even remember when it was.
Sometime in the last 4 years, I'm sure.
Perhaps. Might be.
One would hope, anyway. That is, unless you're a total...
Why are you on your phone?
I'm looking for a picture of an RCMP officer. Shut up.
I don't want to see a picture of an RCMP
yes, you
officer.
do.
I want to see them on horses from now on. Until then, I don't want to see them.
Okay.
Let the city police drive in a car.
Uh-huh.
Let the RCMP ride on horses.
Whatever you say.
And I think, frankly, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth. The sheriff here, get his ass on a horse too. Just like it used to be. No cars for the sheriff.
That would be super non-useful.
None. Why?
Especially
Santa Ana City Police.
There would be horse shit everywhere.
To me. Santa Ana City Police can handle the city. Cypress City Police can handle the city. Buena Park City Police can handle the city. But then the sheriff should be on a damn horse, just like they used to be.
So you can cruise through the city of Stanton that is covered by the sheriff's department, and you can just step in horse shit everywhere because horses shit a crap load.
Then horses will shit a crap load.
Literal crap load.
That's all right.
That's why it's ridiculous and outdated.
Cars can run over it, squish it down, flatten it out, make cow pie instead. No problem.
Ridiculous.
Why can't you try to find the solution? Why do you always have to try to find the problem?
Because putting them on horses is causing a new problem.
It's not.
They already found a solution. It's called a car.
But it's not a good solution.
How is it not a good solution? They drive in a car. They can arrest people and shove them in the back instead of having to drag them by their heels attached to the horse's ass. No bro in a carriage has to come flying along and load them up anymore. They already found the solution. The solution is police SUVs.
No.
Yes.
No.
So your horse thing
you have
is
city
ridiculous.
Police. You have
ridiculous.
City police.
It's absolutely asinine.
Listen, if you're going to make fun of it, then you need to let me defend it. At least try.
Okay, but I had to finish my rant first. You're the one who told me to rant.
City police are there. Mm-hmm. And so let's say some dude was at Buena Park Mall and the sheriff was cruising between the Krikorian Theater and the Crab Place. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And he was on his horse. And
so now the horse is going to shit in the mall,
and he hears the shop owner, "Help! He just stole $150 from my register." And then the cop on the horse, da-dum, 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 "Freeze! You get down on the ground, scumbag! Put your hands in the air, scumbag!" Anyway, he arrests him.
So they're Paul Blart on horses now.
Yes, essentially. He gets him. He arrests him. Guess who gets to haul his ass away? Buena Park Police Department. They don't have to drag his ass on no horse's ass. They just give him to Officer Jeff from the Buena Park Police Department.
So hold on a second.
And Officer Jeff will get a car there and have him taken away.
Hold on a second. You more think mall cops should be on horseback.
No, sheriffs.
Ridiculous. They do more than just ride through the mall.
And the Mounties should be mounted because it's in their damn name. And sheriffs should be riding horses because the sheriffs in the old days, they had a star badge, they had a cowboy hat, boots and spurs, and a horse.
As much as I want Kanye and Kim to name their kid Wild Wild, this is not the Wild Wild West.
Yes, it sort of still is.
No. It's the ridiculous West.
Look.
That's probably what they'll actually name their kid.
Ridiculous, yeah. Probably already have named a kid Ridiculous. They just don't want to tell anybody. The name has to be bad because they announced the birth of the child but didn't announce the name. The name has to be horrendous. They're probably afraid the mom won't sign the surrogate won't release the baby to them if she knows their name.
It's going to be Wild Wild. I have a feeling.
I don't know. I hope it is though, because that'll be funny as hell.
I would die.
But you didn't let me finish. Like a sheriff is a sheriff. They should act like a sheriff. They need to ride on a damn horse. Now, hey, you're trying to downplay the horse. What do motorcycle police officers do when they arrest somebody?
They have to call a car. They're ridiculous and useless.
They're not useless though.
It's so useless to be on a motorcycle. I was trying to find out if she'd named her baby yet. And my phone made sounds.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to know if its name was Wild Wild.
It's not. Its name is Chingus the Dingus.
No, that's what you named your son.
No, that's his nickname. That's not his actual name. His given name is...
Chingus the Dingus.
Mitchell.
Dingus the Chingus.
He's a good boy.
Chingus the Dingus Mahoney.
Anyway, so here's the thing, though. Like I said, I'm getting tired of people who think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. Or, like, people make comments on posts that are about social issues like homelessness or immigration or something like that. And they'll freaking go and talk about how much money they make. Who cares?
How much money the person makes or how much money the homeless people make?
How much money they make, the person making the comment. I'm a millionaire. I've paid millions of dollars in taxes. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, so? Why does that matter to anything that we're talking about?
So take your millions of dollars and go live somewhere where there aren't homeless people.
All that says is
like
you're part of the problem, not part of the solution, loser.
The Antarctic, preferably.
Well, yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. Why they bring that shit up?
Go live on an ocean iceberg. I'm sure you could afford to buy it for yourself.
Or the people who have to tell you what an expert they are on the topic.
I don't approve of that either. If you were really an expert, you would come off that way and not have to shove the fact that you're an expert down our throats.
Well,
just make yourself look like a hack.
I knew when I came up with my homelessness plan that it was going to be hard to get support from every area because it borrows ideas. And basically what I did was I kind of handled it like I handle learning how to play chess. I look over a bunch of in order to learn how to attack on the king side in chess, I went through a book called The Art of Checkmate. And all that book was about was people attacking the king and getting checkmate. And I looked at game after game after game after game after game after game. And eventually you start to see patterns. And then in your own game, you're playing like, oh, wait a minute. This reminds me of that game where the guy sacrificed the rook for the knight. Here, let me analyze that real quick. And then you analyze it. Okay, well, there were good ideas in some of those games and there were bad ideas in some of those games. And so in order to get better, you took the good ideas and you either tried to improve the bad ideas, or if they couldn't be improved, you threw them away. Well, I've done the same thing with my homelessness plan. I've taken ideas that have worked for other people. If they've been a little bit weak, I've tried to figure out why and add things to improve it and strengthen it. And then anything that was not working, I looked at it. Well, was it executed correctly? Could it have been modified differently and then it would have worked? Well, if yes, make those modifications, add it to the plan. If no, throw it away. Well, it makes it hard to get support because you have people who are for this part but not this part. But then there's other people who are for this part but not that part.
Right.
And it's because it's a conglomeration of ideas. But that's exactly why I think it will work. Because it's, you know how they say it takes, 1,000 failures for one success? You have to fail over and over again before you're successful. Well, yeah, it's because you have to pretty much learn all the things that don't work so that you can learn the things that do work.
Makes sense.
But once you go through that, being consistently good at something isn't hard.
But in order for all of that to be true, you actually have to be smart enough to learn from the mistakes, which apparently the current government is not.
Well, it's not just the government, though. It's like most people aren't smart enough to learn. They're just not smart enough to learn from their mistakes. And yeah, I mean, I made a comment on the open forum the other day that the homeless problem is the direct result of inaction on the part of the Board of Supervisors over the years, and that they put a plan in place 6 years ago that was a 10-year plan that really holds them accountable, but they didn't hold themselves accountable.
Right.
And that's a problem. Well, someone asked me what my solution would be, and unfortunately I don't know if they answered or not yet because I have to actually go look because the damn news feed thing that they changed, you can't ever see what you want to see. Plus, because I am a moderator for that libertarian group, I get so much notifications that it disappears in the woodwork. So I have to check and see what she has to say about that. But I gave her an outline. That's why I stopped
being an admin of that group.
But I basically just gave her an outline of my idea and told her that there's a lot more details involved in it, and if she wants to know more, to get in touch with me.
Makes sense.
Well, I just don't want to. I don't want to keep spending 6 hours writing out the entire plan.
Yeah, you kind of need to write up the entire plan in a note on your phone, and then you can just copy and paste it.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep doing that. I want to keep it simple and as an outline. Let them come and talk to me about it.
I guess.
Sometimes when you give too much detail, people think that they can just dismiss it without talking to you about it and having a dialogue about it. This way it forces them to kind of have a little bit of a dialogue about it. So
maybe what you can do is write up the outline in a note on your phone and copy and paste it. So that you don't have to keep spending a lot of time writing it out over and over again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But, I don't know, it's just frustrating how people act. It's really frustrating. But
people are jerks.
They can be.
Look, another podcast about people being jerks.
Like the people that bent the outgoing mail slots. I noticed Austin seems to have bent it back.
He tried. Those doors both need to be replaced now.
Yeah.
Because now they'll bend way easier.
It's just stupid people. But anyway, well, I think we've ranted for long enough.
Do you?
Yep.
You're all ranted out
and I'm kind of thirsty.
Okay.
So, alright, well.
Time for you to go have some orange juice.
Have a good, you guys will hear this on, what's tomorrow? Thursday, right? Thursday. Hopefully I get my damn car back tomorrow.
If you don't, I'm going to lose my mind.
The rest of you,
if you don't, you're going to rent a car.
Have a great Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Hey, this is Mike, and I just wanted to tell you that if you enjoyed the show, and I truly hope you did, you can subscribe on iTunes or Google Play and not miss a single episode. But if you happened to miss an episode and you didn't find it on Google Play or iTunes for some reason, you could go to our website, which is theNightlyRant.wordpress.com.